Sister is going to do the puja. After that, Chaturaranga. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Buddham saranam gacchami, dhammam saranam gacchami, sangham saranam gacchami, dutiyampi buddham saranam gacchami, dutiyampi dhammam saranam gacchami, Dutiyampi sangham saranam gacchami, tatiyampi buddham saranam gacchami, tatiyampi dhammam saranam gacchami, tatiyampi sangham saranam gacchami. Please can open the page 4, trang số 4. Buddha Vandana viết ra cho rõ. Iti viso bhagava araham samma sambuddho vicca charana sampanno sugato lokaliyo anuttaro purisa dhamma sarati santa deva manusanam buddho bhagavati sakato bhagavata dhammo sandikkhiko akamiko evasiko vanayiko vajjattam veditambo vinyurite supatipanno bhagavato savaka sangho Uttupatipanno bhagavato savaka sangho Nyayapatipanno bhagavato savaka sangho Samecipatipanno bhagavato savaka sangho Yadidam cattari purisa yugani atta purisa punggala esa bhagavato savaka sangho ahuniyo pahuniyo dakkiniyo anjali karaniyo anuttaram punyaketang lokassati vandave cetiram sambrang sambadhane supatikitam saririkadatu mahabodhi buddharupam sakalam sakam yassa muderi sindhoga sambari vichayam naka matto sabbam nutam sattha vandetam bodhipayam ime ete mahabodhi lokanatena pujita aham dite namassami bodhiraja namastute Ganasara มบารยุตเตนะดุเปนะอะหังสุขังนินะปูจเยปูจนิยันตังปูจาบาจนะมุตตมังวันตะกันตาบุโลเบตังเอตังกุสุมาสันตติปูจายามิมุลินดัสสะสีบาดาสโรบูเจมิบุญดังกุสุมิยาเนนะปุญเนนะเอเตนะละบามิโมกขังสุขังมิลายาติยัตถาริดัมเดอายุทัตตายาติวินาศบาวังอเดวาเสตุโนบันเตปานิยังอุปนามิตังอนุกัมบังอุปาดายาปฏิกันหาตุสมาOpen page 10 อเดวาเสตุโนบันเตรัตวันตัมภลาภังอนุกัมบังอุปาดายาปฏิกันหาตุมุตตมังอเดวาเสตุโนบันเตกิลานะปัจจยังมิมังอนุกัมบังอุปาดายาปฏิกันหาตุมุตตมังอเดวาเสตุโนบันเตสัมรังสันดายภูจิตังอนุกัมบังอุปาดายาปฏิกันหาตุมุตตมังกายเนวาจาจิตเตนะปมาเดนะมยากตังอัจฉยังคัมเมบันเตปุริบัญญาตถาคตังกายเนวาจาจิตเตนะปมาเดนะมยากตังอัจฉยังคัมเมธัมมาสันติติเกสาริเกกายเนวาจาจิตเตนะปมาเดนะมยากตังอัจฉยังคัมเมสังฆาสุปฏิปันดาอนุตตระดุกขบัตตาจนิดุกขบยาบัตตาจนิบยาโสกัมบัตตาจนิโสกะอุนตุสัมเดหิปานิโนบาบาบูบาลายายวิเยตตโตเอตันตะเรสัพพะกายุปปัญญารูปียรูปิเจสัญญสัญญิโนลุกขบังอุญจันโตอุสันโตวิบูเต
บุตรานุสติเมตตาเจอสุรัมมรหัสติอิติมาจตุรารักขาภิกขุภาเวสิเนวะอนันตวิตตาระหุนันหุนโตนุสรันมุนิงภาเวบุติมาภิกขุพุทธานุสติมาภิกขุ Amasane kilese suleko sambhegatiya amususuddha santano pujananca sadhano sabbakālagate dhamme sabbe sammasayan muni lokassa sabba santanussasako භාග්‍යයිස්සරියාදීනං ගුණානං පරමෝනිති පඤ්ඤාස්ස සබ්බ ධම්මේසු කරුණා සබ්බ ජන්තුසු අත්තං පරත්තානං සාධිකා ගුණ චෙත්තිකා දනාර පාරමී චිත්වා පඤ්ඤායත්තාන මුද්දරේ උදාරි සබ්බ ධම්මේච කයානං මේච උන්දරේ තිස්සමානෝ පිතා වස්ස රූපකායෝ අචින්තයෝ අසාධාරණ ඥානත්තේ ධම්මකායේ කතාවකාති අත්තුපමාය සබ්බේ සංසත්තානං සුඛකාතං පස්සිත්වා කමතෝ නෙත්තං සම්බ සත්තේසු භාවයේ සුඛී භවෙයං නිදුක්ඛෝ අහං නිච්ඡං අහං විය හිතාච මේ සුඛී උන්තු මජ්ජත්තාච ධමේරිනෝ ඉමං මිගාමකෙත්තං සත්තා උන්තු සුඛී සද අතෝ පරං චරජ්ජේසු චක්කවාලේසු ජන්තුනෝ සමන්ත චක්කවාලේසු සත්තානං තේසු පානිනෝ සුඛිනෝ පුංගලා භූතා අත්ථභාවගතා සියං අත්ථායිති පුඤ්ඤාචේවා අරියානරියා පිච්ඡ දේවානර අප්පායත්ත තථා දස දිසාසු චාති අවිඤ්ඤාණ සුභ නිබං සමිඤ්ඤාණ සුභං හිමා කායං අසුභතෝ වස්සං අසුභං භාවයේ සති වන්න සංතාන ගන්ධේහි ආසයෝ කාසතෝ තථා පටික්ඛුවානිකායේ මේ කුණපානිසිතෝලස පතිසම්මාපි කුණපාචේ කුච්ඡං කායනිස්සිතං ආධාරෝ हि සුචිතස්ස කායේසු කුණපේතිකං මිනේ කිමිව කායෝ යං අසුචින්නේ සමුත්ථිතෝ අන්තෝ අසුචි සංගුණෝ පුන්නවච්ච කුටීවිය අසුචි සන්දතේ නිච්ඡං යථා වේද කතාලිකා නානා කිමි කුලාභාසෝ පංකජං ගනිකා විය ගන්ධ භූතෝ ලෝක භූතෝ අනභූතෝ සමුස්සයෝ අතේ කිච්ඡෝ තිජේ බුද්ධෝ පවින්න කුණ භූපමෝහි පවාත දීප තුල්යාය සායු සන්තති สสัมปัตตาปิโนริโยสุยสัตตาปุญญิเตบุตติอุตติอินาเวกาติสิมรณังกิปปังกาตุหาดิสเกกตาปัจจยานันจเวกัลลาปาหิรัจจังกุบันเดมรโมรังนิมิตาปิมรมานุมนุกรังติ
This time. Tuning for this bell sound, so you may be able to settle down easily. Last week we pay our attention to our speech. As practitioners, Buddha had recommended we have to follow certain lifestyle. So we need to watch our behavior and our speech and our mind behavior, how our mind works. So we all know there are certain things we should not do as Buddhist. For instance, 5%. Those are the things we should refrain from, we should avoid. Then we know 10 meritorious deeds. Those are the things we should do. There are many other things we should avoid and we should do. And even 5% we know Musavada. Fourth one, that to refrain from false speech. And we know we should say the truth. Musavada, Pisunavada, Parusavada, Sampappalapa, we know those things. So there are many things we should not talk. There are many ways we should not use our verbal ability. So that is how we should watch our speech. And we should use our verbal ability. And last time we mentioned those talks, those speech, not only for our verbal vocalization, expressing, producing sound. When we watch our mind, we understand, of course, our mind is the most vocal thing. It has more noise and it has more speed. Of course, we have limitation when we say something, person to person, it differs. Some people talk fast, some are slow or high volume, low pitch. But our mind is full of noises. The thing is, we are not aware. We think we have concept that we hear things with our ears. And we talk things using our mouth. But when we start to watch our mind, we understand it is so noisy. It's very restless. And it's very rapid, extremely fast. So we should not think those topics we mentioned, 32 unskillful topics. They are not only for our day-to-day talks or discussions. It is better we
and not to think about those things, not allow our mind to busy with these topics. That means mind is the most powerful thing. In Dhammapada, first Gatha, first two Gathas, says it clearly. Mind is the forerunner. Mind is the most powerful thing, basic thing. So we should watch our mind. Then we understand what kind of topics our mind is busy with. If our mind is busy with those unskillful topics, it's almost like we are talking about those topics. The same. So as a practitioner, we should not use our mind or allow our mind, let our mind to be busy with these topics. If I remind you those 32 things again, talks about kings. It includes any kind of administration, any kind of rulers, any kind of political things. Rajakatha. Then about theft or stealing or robbers. Chorakatha. Talk about robbers. Then talk about ministers. Mahamachakatha. We have prime ministers, many ministers. Those kind of talks. They talk about armies, Sena Katha. Then talks on fears, Bhaya Katha. Horror movies, those things. They are very famous in the society. There are many movies, so many books based on fear, producing fear. Certain people have those kind of things. But here, as practitioners, they are useless. Bhayakatha. Then about wars, conflict, fights, Yuddha-katha. Then about food, Anna-katha. You may see certain TV channels based on food, how to prepare food, or restaurant, best food. 24 hours, they talk mainly on food. Then drinks, Panakatha. Annakatha means about food, Panakatha means about drinks. Because there is no end for these kind of topics. And these topics produces or frustration or unsatisfactoriness. or it creates wanting or desire. That's why these kind of topics should be avoided. They create or develop or strengthen lobha, dosa, moha. Desire or greed, dosa mean ill will or hate, moha mean ignorance or unaware,ness or foolishness or delusions. The other one is on top cloth, vattakata, fashions, attires, outfits, clothes. From the beginning of this human civilization, still people have not found what to wear. Still they are searching. That's why they try different ways of clothing, competition, shows. That means we cannot see the end of this pursuit or this trend or this search what to wear. So vattakata means about cloth, dress or garment. Then about wearings, beautification of our body, like flowers, wearing flowers like that. Malakata. Then scents, perfumes, gandhakata. Throughout human history, people have been doing these things, searching or producing or dreaming about these things. Still, actually, at present, it's much more than in those good old days. Then about relatives, jnatikata. People like talk about this topic, like to highlight or stress or emphasize or to convince others. So and so is my relatives, like that. Or they start to have negative or self-demeaning attitude about thinking about relatives. Oh, that person did this kind of terrible thing. That person is my relatives. So it's a shame for our family, like that. So talking about relatives is not going to be helpful that much. In Buddha's life story, their Buddha's relatives, they had a necessary concept about their relatives. That's why the King Suddhodana told Buddha, we are royals. You are insulting by begging food from poor people. So people develop many unnecessary attitudes, concept, and behaviors, of course, based on these kind of thinking or talks. Jnatikata. Then talks about vehicles, Yan Katha. You may have heard very affluent rich people, they talk about their private jet. Very, very proud way. And they are yacht on boats. There are certain countries, their cars are studded with gold or diamond or jewelries. In their car collection, unthinkable. One car, millions of dollars, expensive. That means still those people are not happy, really. They need to collect more and more. They are waiting for new, latest model. That means that desire also not going to give us happiness. That's why these are meaningless talks. Jnana. That talks about villages. Gama Katha. Gama means village. No. We should think about why Buddha said these are meaningless talks. People like to think or say highly about own village. And at the same time, people have some negative attitude about other villages. Or city people, they condemn villages. Villages, people, those who live in villages, they may develop like self-demeaning or negative self-perception. We are poor, we are rural people, like that. So, anyway, talking about villages, it's useless. That is how we live, we get birth. That's not something to talk highly or to hide or have some special attitude or concept about. This is all. We live on this planet, same planet. We have given certain names for certain locations. Actually, physically, they don't have boundaries. We have this put mental boundaries for villages. They are not real. Then talk about small villages, hamlets like that. Nigamakata. Locality, you may think West is Springfield, North is Springfield, South is Springfield, like that. The people are, you are our area. People start to make groups sometimes. They have sometimes rivalry or negative attitude about other areas in the same village. So Nigamakata, talking about hamlets. And talk about cities. Nagarakata, or the beauty of cities. Nagara Lankarakata. You may have heard certain people say, "Oh, I am New York. I am from New York. I am from LA." And their sound implies that they are proud about that. they think highly about them. Meantime, they look down upon others. And Janapada Katha talk about states. Oh, we are from this state, we are from DC, we are from Virginia, we are from Maryland or Pennsylvania, we are from Connecticut, we are from Florida. Like that, people have sometimes they start fights in in ancient time. Few hundred years ago, people had armed struggle between these states. How those fights, conflict start? First, people create attitude, then they talk about, then those talks lead to sometimes conflicts. That's why they are meaningless. Then talk about female, ittikata. Why it is? This is not like we are forgetting or banning about female, talking about female. We have to contemplate, we have to think about why this is, how it is going to be meaningless. Sometimes, most of the time, advertisement, commercials, they put some female's picture, but they are not relevant. Maybe food, they want to promote or sell food, but they show a lady's picture, or furniture, or car. This is very, very readily available thing. Whatever advertisement, commercial, they use lady's picture there. That means in hidden way, they misuse a gender. They create unnecessary or negative or greedy or sensual desire in people's mind. How we should look at others as our fellow human being. That's it. Very respectful way. If we develop greed or hate or desire or craving, that is not going to be helpful for the society. So femininity is widely misused, that topic. So in certain cultures, areas, sometimes many unnecessary troubles ladies have to go through. Sometimes rape, sometimes rape and kill. That much dangerous greed, desire can be created by these kind of talks. Next one, talk about heroes, Surakatha. we know we sometime if that person is from your village area, your neighborhood, you know the real situation. But media can create heroes out of those common normal people who to get some political advantage or to get political power. They fabricate stories around certain people. They create heroes. So heroes, the stories about heroes are not always real. We like to exaggerate. Most of the heroes' stories are like that, exaggerated stories. That means that that's not true. And people start to compete or argue based on these topics. And in this mundane life, those heroes, what they stood for, maybe for certain ethnic group, maybe for some political cause, but actually that may be against common good. Only certain groups, they create heroes that having some hidden motives. The other one talk about intoxicant, surakata. Again, it is clear talking about intoxicant, drugs or tobacco or vapors, e-cigarette, many other substances. There are so many harmful things. How they promote? They talk about those things in very cunning, very sometimes subtle ways. Create some interest in listener's mind. They connect these kind of things with our other brand, like expensive car and different kind of alcohol. They link these things together in their advertisement. So intoxicant or drugs or harmful substances, they are definitely harmful, but they say something different. They show those are like high class people's drinks or happy moment drinks. Actually, no any substance can make you really happy. Temporarily they may create some arousal, but very rapidly, very quickly, person get into depressed level. That's the danger of those arousals, intoxicant. So, talking about drugs, substances, smoke, alcohol, those are meaningless, unwholesome topics. talk about famous street, Visikakata. Then Kumbhattakata was it about like well ponds where we take water resources. In ancient time, those are the places people meet each other, started to gossip. So this is more relevant for in ancient time, famous places for people to gossip around water well or ponds where people to collect their water. Then talks about those who already dead and gone. Pubbapeta. Normally people in ancient time, they had so much fear about people who died, because now relatively we are safe. We have medicine, doctors, ambulances, or insurance, many facilities. But in the past, sicknesses, they were so fearful things. That's why people start to say, bless you. When you sneeze, people say, bless you. That means in the past, pneumonia kind of things, unavoidable death. Now it's simple. It's not like fatal something. In ancient time, even a small thing, they could kill people. So that means fear about death was very, very prominent in the past. So talking about those people create more fear in other people's mind. So when we have fear, we create in our mind ghost, devil kind of stories. When you have learned or heard those stories, you are not free to sit under a tree, close your eyes, peacefully meditate. It is very troublesome. So unnecessary fears are harmful for us. So as Buddhists we know we can do something good, karma, in the name of our departed relatives. That is it. Talking about them, their funeral, their dead body, those cemeteries or burial ground, dreams about them, those are unnecessary, meaningless, actually harmful talks. Only thing we should do when someone dies, we do good karma in their memory. That's it. Nanattakata and many other talks, useless talks. Many other useless talks. And beginning of the or origin of this planet or this world or this universe. It is famous things in many religious books and even scientific research also. How this world started, what is the beginning of universe like that. What Buddha said, you can understand everything, how this universe started, how it's going to end. Observe yourself, your body. You can understand all the basic principles related to whole universe. That's what Buddha said. Otherwise, those who are going to find out what is the origin of this universe, they are going to end their life without getting any clue about real answers. These are time-wasting topics. Lokaikika Katha. Then talking about the ocean. We know there are millions of people, even now, without in basic things. People die, they homeless people, millions of people here. But millionaires, billionaires, they are searching water in Mars or some other planet. They are talking about oceans, about other planets. But there are here millions of people. They don't have proper potable water, drink good water or a place to take a shower. That meaningless talks these are. We have so much, very, very urgent services. But disregarding all those things, they talk about other planets, other oceans in other planets. And depth of this planet ocean like that. Scientific researches are good, but they should be driven by very useful, meaningful themes. Then talks about eternal soul after death. Sasvata Dittikata. People talk about eternal soul, everlasting soul. But if you tell them, show me your so-called soul now, then I can think about eternal soul. But there is no clear answer. What is soul? Using any method, they cannot explain what is soul. But people, they very, very widely talk about this eternal soul. Actually, these are not people's issues. These are not people's real problems. This someone used these kind of topics to gain something, maybe money or maybe power, some hidden motives, personal. Gain, personal gain. Otherwise, common people, this is not something urgent, real problem in their life. They have so many real problems. So Buddha said, don't waste your lifetime, this precious lifetime, talking about these meaningless talks. And the next one, Uchcheda Dittikata. That means this is the life. This is it. So whatever you want, do it. That is also a very dangerous idea. Very extremely dangerous idea. So because it is like a pouring gasoline on fire. Why? People are selfish. If we give this kind of ideas, those selfish people can do any harm to this world, others, for their cruel satisfaction. And Buddhikata talk about development or prosperity. That is very clear what Buddha said here. We always talk about development, 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 development. What is development now? Unpredictable weather, tornado, hurricane, storm. Beaches are eroded. Thousands of businesses and houses, they washed away. And many countries, they cannot breathe. They have to use mask, oxygen mask sometimes. And water, pollution everywhere, even space. It's like a junkyard now. Debris, many satellite and broken things. So finally, we see even fish in the ocean, in their body, there are so much toxic things, like mercury, man-made things, and plastic, microparticles. These are the development people have made, prosperity. So we need to peacefully think about what is development. Otherwise, we are like fearful herd of deers who runs very fast. We all chase up this, running after this so-called development. So families are broken, values are neglected, environment is in an irreversible manner damaged, everything damaged and destroyed. We don't see real prosperity or development everywhere. If you think in your childhood, you may remember how beautiful so many birds, insects, and beautiful streams, fresh air. Now, how much pollution has happened? We don't see any development. And even though you pay money, you cannot buy real food. Very poisonous things. Chemicals everywhere. So we don't see real prosperity or development in the world. But people always talk about development, especially politicians. They always give false promises. They talk about development. They think development means more cars on the street, more gasoline using things, more money, more greed, more airplanes. Millions years it took to produce this environment and these resources. But this one generation destroying everything. They have no idea about on this planet. People and other living beings should survive on this planet many thousand millions years in future. They don't remember or they don't think about that. Their so-called development, prosperity is selfishness, nothing but selfishness, greed. That's why Buddha said, Buddhi Kata is meaningless. Real Buddhi, you peacefully introspect, you think. And your spiritual development, your virtuous development, your inside development, peace in your mind, your life, your family life, peaceful coexistence with other living beings and things. Those are the real buddhi. Then hanikata, misfortune. Talk about misfortune, no unluck or losses. Hanikata. Because people have no accepted limit what we should have. Their wanting, their needs, their greed, they are endless. So we cannot talk about losses or misfortune. We are so fortunate in human history. We are the most fortunate people because we have every resources, but still we are unhappy. We think we are the most unfortunate. The Buddha asks us to develop contentment and gratefulness. We have to be grateful about what we have, what we receive, what we are given, not our misfortune. Then Panchakama Sukhakata. You know, Panchakama means our five senses. We have five senses bases. Eye, ear, nose. You know those things. Giving or deriving pleasure from these five senses. Talks about those things. Sensual pleasure. Talks about sensual pleasure. Because sensual pleasure is not real. It is not real. And it's also like fire. You put anything into fire, it burns down. And fire increases. Our senses are also same. Nobody has satisfaction seeing, oh, I have seen enough. They want to see more movies, more carnivals, more beautiful things, more countries, more traveling. Now people dreaming to travel in space, see the space. That means people will not have dissatisfaction. They want to hear how many songs we have produced. Still, in this moment, there are so many artists, songwriters, musicians. They produce songs. Nobody is happy. Already, sometimes we have trillions of songs. We are not happy. Still, that is our human ears. They are not going to be happy. They want something else, something else, something else, something else. How many perfume we have produced? Still people are not happy. They want to have different kind of perfume. Like that. Our five senses are like real fire pit. It burns everything what they get, and it grows more fire, more greed. And the human desire is the real depthless. Mariana, that is the deepest place on our planet. Known place. Mariana, depthless. But our the greed for sensual pleasure is much more deeper than that. You put anything, it disappears only. You cannot fill your vacuum, emptiness. So Buddha said, these are meaningless katha. It will not give a meaning to your life. Panchakama sukha katha. Giving pleasures to your five senses. Attakilamatani yogi katha. Talking about self-mortification as a form of liberation. That also harmful trend, harmful tendency. People have that attitude. Or if someone giving so much pain, suffering, people think, oh, that is the real practitioner. That is the real practitioner. You remember the first time Buddha came to 5 ascetics to give first sermon? Those 5 ascetics, they said, oh, that person is coming again. He gave up spiritual practice. He started to eat. He started to sleep. He failed. Now he is coming back to us. They talk like that. So we are not going to respect him. We will just give only a seat. That means 5 ascetics. And that is strong idea. If someone is spiritual, really spiritual, that person must be very lean, like a bone, skeleton, in so much pain. All this. That's the real nature of real practitioners. Those 5 ascetics thought like that. But in Buddha's first sermon, Buddha clearly explained, giving suffering or pain to one's body is not going to help you. It is meaningless something. Your enlightenment, it doesn't depend on your pain or your suffering. Middle path is your way. So that was Buddha's first sermon. So talking about sitting long time cross-legged. That's the talk about this meaningless talk. Long hours meditation talks. Not talking long time spending time. Using only one cloth long time. Eating one something. Those are extreme practices. Ascetic practices. They are not going to helpful at all for person's enlightenment. Buddha refused it, and Buddha clearly said it. It is an extreme. One side, giving satisfaction is not going to give you enlightenment. In the same way, giving suffering or pain to yourself, it is not going to give you any wisdom or enlightenment. So those are the 32 topics we should avoid as followers of Buddha's noble teaching. That's it for today. Now you may chant Karaniya Sutta in Vietnam.
Người không có đủ đức tài hằng tìm nơi ích tương lai cho mình, dân lòng an tình thanh bình, tiến vào cực lạc vô sinh niết bàn, giữ lòng chân trực đoan trang, nhu hòa lương thiện chân hạnh khỏe khoan, vân tụ tuần an nhàn, không ham thế sự tình an khỏi lòng, lục căn chế ngự nghiêm phòng, không cho liều linh luyến mong dục tranh nể, không làm như lành tinh thần cân dạy chế trách, thành nhân phê bình mong cầu tất cả chúng sinh, dồi dào hạnh phúc hòa bình sinh nhai, cầu cho ba giới bốn loài chúng sanh yêu lành văn dài bình trung, béo gầy nhỏ lớn không cùng, hữu hình vô tướng muôn trùng hình xa, chưa sanh hoặc đã sanh ra, thầy đều công hưởng hạ xa phước phần, nguyện không lừa gạt dối mạnh, kinh người niệm chúng hư danh trang hiền, dẫu cho thân thuộc song chuyện, người dưng kẻ lạ các miền xa xăm, trong cơn phẫn nộ giận tâm cũng không lo nghĩ mưu thâm hại người, như lòng từ khẩu thân tươi, trăm tay ngàn nắng vui cười vì con, dầu cho một mất một con, bảo tồn con trẻ vuông tròn ăn chơi, tình thương ghi tạc đời đời, từ bi rộng lớn vô trời thanh thang, không đòi tư hậu vương vàng, mở lòng thương xót khỏi xa bà, ác vọng khổ đau vượt ra luân hồi ăn này rải khắp các nơi, bốn phương tám hướng gầm trời bao la, tâm lòng bác ái vị tha, mười nhân tư tưởng đậm đà tình thương, lòng từ công sạch như gương, không phá càng không vương tư thù, hộ tâm niệm niệm công phu, khi đi khi đứng chuyên tu âm thiền, nắm môi mặc niệm thường xuyên, tu tầm đạo quả gieo duyên niết bàn, đó là phương pháp thế gian, đó là hạnh kiệt đưa đẳng vô sanh, tánh nhân ca tụng tam thành, xuôi dòng thành bước lữ thành nhập lưu, vượt lên đến mức thắng ưu, khai tâm tuệ đạt tâm su định đầu, a đạo tuệ hương mẫu, đoan tuyên tà kiến xa câu dục tình, bất lai cảnh giới hữu hình, phạm thiên pháp ngữ nghiêm minh triết bàn. Trang 51 hướng Tapinapa kỳ quan, ngưỡng cầu các đấng chư thiên, trong vòng tình ta ngữ yên hằng hay, ngữ nơi đền tháp xưa nay, những nơi biển thân nơi cây bồ đề, chúng con xin hội họp về, sẽ dùng pháp thi điển để cúng dâng, rồi xin hộ độ chư tăng, cửa từ ẩn nâu phước căn hà xa, tỷ ưu chẳng luận trẻ già, cao á trung hạ hoặc là mới tu, thiện nam tín nữ công phu, cùng là tí chủ đồng phụ trợ nhân, những người trong khắp thôn lành, kiều chư câu phần được phần an khương, chúng sanh bốn loại không lượng, non thái thấp hoa kỳ nương pháp lành, giải thoát pháp bảo nên hành, đăng hạ nhất cổ truyền quân đỏ này, cầu cho hưng hạnh lâu dài, các thiện tri thức các ngài mở mang, bậc tu sinh được bình an, cầu cho tăng chúng các hàng hòa nhau, lại thêm phẩm hạnh thanh cao, những quả lợi ích kết máu kinh thì, cầu xin pháp bảo hộ trì cho người tu đã quy y Phật rồi, xin cho cả thầy chúng con tận hóa trong pháp Phật, rồi dạo truyền chư thiên ngự trên hư không, địa cầu thượng ngự rõ thông mọi điều, long vương thần lực có nhiều, đồng sinh hoan hỷ phước đều chúng con, hộ trì Phật giáo tăng hội các bậc tránh khỏi nạn tai, chúng sanh được hưởng phước giải bền lâu. Chúng con vui tu đạo màu, tu hành tinh tấn ngõ hầu vô sanh. Do sự phước báo mà chúng con đã trong sạch thành đây, xin hồi hướng đến thân bằng quyến thuộc đã qua bạn, cầu mong cho các vị ấy hằng được sự yên vui. Do sự phước báo mà chúng con đã trong sạch thành đây, hãy là món duyên lành để dứt khỏi những điều ô nhiễm ngũ phần nơi tâm trong ngày